Hello and welcome. My name is Dmitry Markolov, aka at Dmitry Make Love, and you're listening to an episode of Faucets of Reality, a show in which we explore, learn about, and grow our understanding of what it is to be human at this time on Earth. Ever since I can remember, and it feels like forever, I have been fascinated with what all this is: being, life, and the nature of reality in general. It is now my hope to traverse these different facets and expand consciousness together with you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here. If you find that you enjoy listening, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and/or comment, as it shows the algorithm what I'm doing here is truly worthwhile and helps me reach more people. And with that, let's begin. Hey, what's up, guys? Happy to be here. Happy you're listening. This is gonna be episode 3. First, I just want to say that this podcast is blowing up. I had the second episode had significantly more downloads than the first, and so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Definitely reach out. I'm still just kind of starting out, so this would be a really good time. And if you're enjoying, please support. I don't want to be a stickler about that, but you already know what this is. You know the game. All right, let's get moving. This is the best episode I've made so far. Episode 3. It's all about astrology. Hold on, before you go. What day is it today? Wednesday. What month? February. What year? 2023. How about what time is it? Well, let's see. I'm over here in Milwaukee. It's about 4:07 p.m. Well, guess what? All of that is astrology. The calendar, the time on the clock, that's all astrology. Astrology isn't some esoteric, mysterious thing. We live according to the planets, to the stars. First and foremost, the sun, of course, which basically dictates when it's day and when it's night, and when we can see things and when we sleep. I think it's kind of inherent in our reality, our shared experience here. Um, and so, yeah, astrology. At the end of this episode, I will give you all a secret that I don't believe many know. So definitely stick around for that. What astrology is basically it's the measurement of the progressions of the sun, the moon, the month. Every month is a moon, and etc. And we rely, modern society heavily relies on this. It cannot be overstated. Business, meetings, school, how old you are, all these things are like basics. Children learn these things to find their way in the world, to connect with others. Basically, the idea is that the universe is like a clock that measures cycles, all the different cycles, like the different planets rotating are like the different cogs and wheels and like one big clock. I think the idea of clocks also came from astrology. Um, And the truth is, we've been looking at stars, we've been looking up above for answers from the very beginning of existence. Every religion, every spirituality started this way and has a deep tradition of looking up to the sky for answers. Though some people were more concerned with, surviving, hunting, getting food, maybe raising kids, protecting others. The shaman kept up the study of the stars and started systemizing it and writing it down to keep a record. Hinduism, Celtics, Mayans, the Norse, most if not all Native American tribes, and the list goes on. All the traditions, all the ancient societies, their basis of their spiritual traditions was in astrology. It's basically embedded deeply in all traditions, as you can see. And actually, it turns out that many ancient societies actually believed that we came from the sky. Go figure. I think it makes sense that before we could really settle down from being nomadic and start villages and then whole civilizations, we had to be aware of and have access to the knowledge of the longer cycles and seasons that our agriculture, farming is all based around. We had to know, winter was coming or summer was coming, when it was spring, what time it was, so to speak. Not just tomorrow, but, in a while. So they started noticing the sun would make these cycles. It would come back to the same place, just like the other planets. More so, people have used astrology to plan events as well as acquire divine blessings for all of history. It is said that kings always had an astrologer in the council who many times became even more powerful than the king himself. Think about it. The king is going to his astrologer to plan events. When was the best time to, go to battle, for example, or to have a child, things like that. The astrologer would have the answers. Think like King Arthur and Merlin. King Arthur had Merlin, and they were kind of like a team. They needed each other, to survive. Finally, even Christianity, although it may not openly accept astrology, it does in fact have many allegories that could have only been taken from astrology, such as Christ being the Son of God, the solar deity, or also the 12 disciples that represent the 12 signs of astrology, which I'm about to get into. Don't worry. Finally, Christmas itself falls right on winter solstice. So there's something deeper at play here for sure. And I don't want to get into that whole topic. It's a huge topic, and I just simply cannot go into it right now, as that would take too long, and I do have a limit on how much I can upload. So if this interests you, I implore you to take an hour or two from your busy life and live in the mystery for a bit. Look into this stuff for yourself. We have the internet now. It's all there to look at. It's all there to explore for yourself. because this is this is meant to just be a primer, just the basic knowledge that I've collected, because I thought I should have an episode about this on this podcast for me, But if nothing else, I hope that it inspires you, even if it's just one person, to look into this deeply fascinating subject of astrology and whatever else. Just explore this reality. That's how you're going to get more from it. The more you put in, the more you get out. As above, so below. This brings me to my next point. So basically, let's explore a little bit about how the common astrological system is made. Like I said, there's many different traditions of astrology. It's systemized in many ways, but the most common one, I think, like the Western one, basically. So first I want to say that infinity as a concept only makes sense as an extension of the concept of unity. So infinity doesn't come from manyness, but it comes from unity. It can only be infinity in unity. If it's all together, then it can be infinite. It's very important. And I guess like unity is kind of the theme for the first few episodes of my podcast, which is why, I thought to talk about astrology this time around. So astrology as a system is meant to model all of reality. It's a holistic model of the whole universe, with the astrology chart being the microcosm and the actual whole universe being the macrocosm. So, Indra's web, which is basically, or the holographic theory of the universe, that in every piece of the universe is the whole universe in it. So it's like the, how atoms, the smallest, tiniest bits of reality, they look like planets, revolving around. So basically what happened was, simply put, first is drawn a 2D circle on the paper, just a circle, which is the geometric archetype of unity. And then it was split up into 12 slices, 12 being the holy number. 12 is very important. All the real spiritual systems use 12. There's 12 months in the year. There's 12 hours on the clock. Some systems use 10, and those are, let's just say they are withholding something. They're not complete systems. Anything that has 10 in it is not a complete system. It has to have 12 in order to be truly divine. When I say 10, I'm looking at you, Kabbalah. So basically, it's on the 2D circle. In the third dimension, these slices are called sectors. So it's like a sector of the universe. So in astrology, each one of these 12 is referred to as a house and has an archetype or sign associated to it. The idea is that depending on your birthday, the specific date, time, and location of your birth, your soul came from a different sector of the universe. And that's basically why you are the sign that you are. You may be an Aries, a Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces. Really, your horoscope sign is simply the sign that the sun was in at your birth, which is the most dominant aspect of your chart, your sun sign. But it is only one small piece of what makes you, you. The other two important ones that you may have heard about is your moon sign, which is where the moon was, and finally your ascendant, which is the sign the horizon was in when you were born, where technically your chart starts with the first house. That's the ascendant, is where the first house starts. This is where your chart starts, and then it comes around and it ends at that same point. And it has its own sign. And then there are also about 9 to 12 other planets or, bigger objects in our solar system. Each act as their own power in our psyches. Depending on where they were, it will shape your expression and experience as a human being here at this time. For example, Mars is power, Venus is love, Mercury is communication, Jupiter is expansion, Saturn is structure, Uranus is rebelliousness, and etc. They are each their own archetype, and it is definitely a very interesting way to break down the energies in our solar system. So it's basically the basic precepts of astrology. One way of kind of the way I connected it is that, when the baby is born, when you're born, the skull hasn't like closed in all the way yet, and so the gravity from the different planets acts on it. So as soon as you're born into gravity, your brain starts being pressured in a certain way. And that kind of leads to how you experience everything and also your personality. And it's all connected, So basically, if you want to calculate your own chart, there are many services now available online for free. The site I recommend and have been using for over a decade, just for simple chart drawings, is astro.com. It's very easy to remember. Astro.com. They also have a much more personalized and in-depth horoscope that takes into account your whole chart, not just your sun sign. Could be interesting to look into. Anyways, there's so much more to say, but my time is running out for now. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2, where I can talk about, the aspects and the different, I don't know. I could definitely talk a lot more about this, but coming up to almost 20 minutes here. Okay. Now that we got to basically the end, I'm going to let you in on the secret I was talking about before. So basically, I have heard about this, grappled with this for years, kind of trying to feel it out for myself, taking into account different perspectives. But basically, there is a pervading theory that the popular astrology system that we all use, horoscopes and what have you, that this system is actually outdated by more than 2,000 years, it turns out. In what is known as Vedic astrology, the precession of the equinoxes is taken into account, and the more accurate picture of our universe seems to present itself. After considering many things, it somehow makes sense to me intuitively. So I am going to say something about this. So hopefully we can all get back on track together. Update our systems, so to speak. So what this means is that the system most people refer to right now is off by a whole sign. That's basically the easiest way to to look at it. So I'm not really sure if this is like a conspiracy or something, or someone did this on purpose. But basically, for me, I was told and always thought of myself as a Virgo. According to Vedic astrology, again, the seemingly correct and up to date system, turns out I'm actually a Leo. And again, intuitively, taking in all the evidence and thought about all these things, it kind of makes sense to me. So whatever sign you think you are, try to feel into what if maybe you are actually this sign right before that sign. So if you're a Gemini, what if you're actually a Taurus? Aries, what if you're actually a Pisces? And so on. Use the internet and study for yourself. Astrology is deeply helpful for figuring out who we are and our place in the universe. For me, it definitely was and is. Astrology is its own language that has been around definitely for over 5,000 years. For 5,000 years, people have been using astrology. Ever since we have had records of writing anything down at all, astrology's been there. And I will personally argue that it was around even longer than that, even before writing. So, in conclusion, I don't think it's something to argue over whether it's real or not. I mean, honestly, you'd have to be stuck under a rock to not recognize it for what it is. Probably the longest held tradition humanity has. Hey, you made it to the end. You get a gold star. Seriously, thank you so much. You are supporting what I am doing here just by listening, and I appreciate that a whole lot. Remember to subscribe, and if for any reason you wish to reach out, I am on Instagram at Dimitri Make Love. That's DimitryMakelove. Have an amazing day. Remember, all is one. IO. And until next time.